Good boy, Tucker.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome.
Work smarter where you want.
Consistency is key.
And remember, if it's not in Redtail, it never happened.
This is learning at its most fun.
Hello, everyone. This is Haley Mandrup, and I'm one of the trainers at Redtail Technology. Today, we'll be talking about integrations. We're doing one of our Redtail Essentials videos, so I'm going to show you everything there is to know about integrations in general. And I'm not going to go specifically into any one integration, but I'll be more talking about some general things that are true of most or all of our integrations so that you'll know just where to begin with setting up an integration or figuring out if Redtail even integrates with a company that you're looking to connect to Redtail. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at some of the integrations that Redtail has. And I know that's quite the list of logos or quite the logo map here. So let's just break it down and talk about some of the different categories of companies that Redtail integrates with. So first we're going to look at custodians. Custodians are up in the top left-hand corner here. And I'm actually going to talk about custodians and data aggregation together. So both custodians and account aggregators integrate with Redtail in much the same way. And that way is they feed accounts into Redtail with the account number, the tax ID number, and the balance populated by the assets. So that account balance gets to populate in Redtail. You can run reports or searches to find out if a certain segment of your book of business has over a certain amount or under a certain amount in their AUM, or you can also check on family portfolio balance. So if you have a family group together, then you can run a report or run a search on how many family portfolio balances are over or under a certain amount. Big benefit to getting those accounts to feed into Redtail, along with the fact that a lot of times at your custodian or your data aggregator, the account will only show within that system when it is open. And Redtail can maintain historical data. So long after that account is closed and the balance has been zeroed out, you can still access that account within Redtail with the number and any note history that you had relevant to that account. So that's another great benefit to having the accounts feed in. Next is financial planning. And a lot of these categories are very broad, so they're going to encompass a lot of integrations in one category. So in financial planning, we've got Advisees, Advisor, Asset Map, and so much more listed here. So if you see a logo for a company and you're like, hey, I totally use them, then hopefully the information that I go over in this webinar, or the information I go over in this webinar, will go ahead and show you how to get started with finding out what that integration does and how to go ahead and set it up. We've got marketing companies in here too. I know marketing is really big, and marketing doesn't just mean prospects or leads. Marketing means clients too. We have to maintain that client relationship, and whether that's through something like FMG, MailChimp, Marketing Pro, or any of these constant contact mailing platforms, you can integrate from Redtail. And the goal with a lot of the marketing companies is to use Redtail as the hub, or if you're familiar with that old toy, the potato head, Redtail's your potato head, and everything else plugs into or comes out of the potato head. So in the case of marketing, you're going to maintain the client data for many of these integrations within Redtail, and then it will send to the marketing company either individually or in mass, so that you can go ahead and take it from there and add them to some kind of campaign or a one-off email. It's up to you. Next is advisor tools. Out of all of these categories, advisor tools is definitely the most broad. It's kind of where we put the integrations that we're not really sure to put anywhere else. So let's go through those. Appointment Reminder is this really cool platform where you can remind clients about appointments. So definitely check them out. Fox Financial is one of our partners. They've built workflows that are available for Redtail for purchase. So they're one of our partners there, and we have them listed under advisor tools. And then finally, Zapier. And I'll touch on Zapier a little bit later just because that's a very unique integration. Robo-advisors, we've got Advisor Engine and Emotomy. I think I'm saying that right. Data aggregation we already covered, so we're going to jump up to document storage, notes, and archives. This is going to include one of our very own products, Redtail Imaging. Of course, we integrate with Redtail Imaging. And then we have other document storage solutions available here. Forms, here's some of your favorite form fillers. IPS Advisor Pro, Laser App Quick, and a newer one, RedCapture. So whereas IPS Advisor Pro, Laser App, and Quick are taking information from Redtail out into their system, RedCapture is the opposite. You're filling out a form in RedCapture, and then that information is going into Redtail. That's a notable difference between those three products and that one. For compliance, our partners are RIA in a Box and Smart RIA. And then portfolio analysis. So portfolio analysis, we've got quite a few partners here. Again, if you see that logo and you currently use their system, stay tuned and we'll talk about how to set up those integrations. The investment research programs are going to be Advisory World, Morningstar, Scout, and Wealth Access. And we'll talk a little bit more about Advisory World within the system. For voice dictation, CopyTalk, Mobile Assistant, and Voice to Insight. If you are not so good at typing, I'm in your group. I would totally use a voice dictation service to get me out of typing 100% of the time. And then for voice over IP, so for if you'd like when a client's calling, their contact record to pop up on your screen, that sounds really cool. These programs can help with that in Toll, Strive, and Monmouth Telecom. Social, you guessed it, we integrate with Twitter. So you can put your Twitter feed within Redtail, and then you don't even have to leave Redtail to check on what your tweets are for that day. And then we've got email compliance down here as well. So this is just, this is most of our integrations. Ultimately, we have a large number, but this is going to encompass most of the popular ones. If you ever have a question about, hey, does Redtail integrate with that company? The best place to check is actually our corporate page. So that's going to be redtailtechnology.com. redtailtechnology.com. And we're going to pull up our corporate site here. It's going to take you to our page. Under company is partners. And partners is going to show you all of our current offerings. So you'll even see under advisor tools, my PowerPoint doesn't have one of the integrations because they're a newer integration. So this is always going to have an up-to-date list of everyone that we integrate with as far as financial technology companies go. If you're looking for a broker-dealer integration, it's not going to be on this page. That's something you'd want to contact Redtail about to see if there's an integration with your broker-dealer specifically. Or maybe contact your broker-dealer as well. So I'll just scroll through here. Data aggregation, email compliance, and anytime you want to learn more about that company, you can click on it and then click on the link there and it'll take you to their website. So you can learn more about that company because Redtail might not know all about what a certain company does, but we've given you the links to their company websites directly. So you can go ahead and contact them and see what kind of demo or free trial is available if you're not a current client of theirs. So all that being said, showing you just a few of the partners and then showing your partners page. When you're within Redtail, many of the available integrations are already showing for you. So let's talk about that. So within the CRM, if you go to the integrations icon, this little link symbol, you might recognize it from your phone or tablet or other websites use that same icon whenever we're linking information or accessing an integration. And when you click on that integration, a big list of companies may load here. And I say it may load because if you've turned off any of these integrations, then they won't show under this icon. Now, the idea is you can personalize your database so that an integration that you don't use doesn't have to show here. So say I used Laser App, for example. Well, that's under L, and these are alphabetical. So every time I'd want to use Laser App, I would have to scroll down to L to see that integration. So what I could do is go under my name in the top right-hand corner and go to Manage Your Integrations. And this is going to give me a big control panel of all of the integrations that I have the ability to turn on or off for my database. By default, we're going to turn on all the integrations for your database. And then you can come in here and turn them off if it's something that you're not interested in having, or you don't use their company, so might as well turn it off so you have quick access to the ones that you do use and don't have to scroll on that integrations icon. I do want to spotlight a couple while we're on this page. So if you do have that knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, I have to go clean up my integrations ASAP. One thing I do want to point out is that Advisory World actually provides free reports to all Redtail users. So before you turn that integration off, feel free to check out the reports available under Contact Records. So if I search for a contact record, for example, and I wanted to go straight to their accounts page, I'm going to go to the left of their name and then go to accounts. And now I can run an Advisory World report showing right here under my action icon, right there, Advisory World. And then I can generate one of these reports. And these are free to all Redtail users. That's just something that they decided to turn on for all Redtail users or clients. So I could click on Generate Fact Sheet, and then it would go ahead and generate a report for me that I could then open and display. And my account has no holdings, so that report is blank for me. But if the account had holdings, because I'm in a test database, then you'll be able to see, let's see if this one works any better. And we're going to open that up. There we go. So that's more of a representation of what that report would look like. And I'll zoom in. So that's going to be available for any accounts that are feeding over from an account aggregator or custodian. And then if you have the Advisory World integration turned on. And those accounts from the account aggregators or custodians generally update 5 days a week. And that's going to be Tuesday through Saturday, because we update them after market close. So if Monday's over, and then Albridge or Orion or TD Ameritrade or Fidelity or whoever is going to send us the file from Monday, and then we'll process it sometime Monday night or Tuesday morning. So Monday's assets are going to be reflected. And we do generally say that they could be up to 3 days behind, depending on the files and the processing and the information that we've received. But that's just a general thing to know, is that it's not going to be the same day values for most of those custodians and account aggregators. Going back to our Manager Integrations page, some integrations may not show on this page by default. So, for example, I've got these two. I'm going to turn those on. And if an integration is not showing here, but we do integrate with them, for example, one of our voice over IP providers, Jive, isn't going to show necessarily within this integrations list. And that's because the setup for Jive is very different. So you may be asking, okay, well, how do I know how to turn it on then? So we do have a help desk under the question mark in the top right-hand corner. And if you click on that question mark and then go to Redtail Help Desk, you can always search for any of our integrations here. So I could search for Jive, and then it's going to bring up my articles. Now it's brought up two articles here. One says Jive, so that's probably the one all about Jive. But then I have another article here that just says VoIP or Voice over IP. And this article is actually going to tell me all of the voice over IP providers that Redtail integrates with. And we have an article for each category of integrations that we have. So to get to those, if you were just going to the help desk originally, you can click on Project Tailwag because all of these integrations are with our CRM product. And then we're going to scroll down just a little bit to integrations. And all the articles that I want to point out are the ones with the star. So if I click on integrations, then say you were looking for a document storage provider, you can come in here, click on document storage, and not only do you get the list of companies that we integrate with that are document storage services, you can also click on them and then learn more about exactly what that integration does. So if it doesn't do what you're looking for, you can check out the other companies that may be what you're looking for. So I'm going to go back to that integrations list just so we can glance one more time at what's under the starred articles here: account aggregators and custodians, document storage, email compliance, and all the other categories. And then underneath are going to be all the individual companies' articles. So if you were looking specifically for how we integrate with advisor websites, for example, you could give that a click or search it in the search box at the top as well. We're going to circle back to the CRM. Again, if the integration is in the Manage Your Integrations page, say you are looking for more information on FMG Suite, you can actually click on this little settings icon and there's a button for support. Now, if I click on that button for support, it's going to take me straight to the article on FMG Suite. So I don't have to go through that extra process of clicking on the question mark, the help documentation to get to the help desk, and then searching for FMG. Instead, that link is straight within their integration, within the Manage Your Integrations page. And again, that's under your name, Manage Your Integrations. Right there. A couple other special integrations, and when I say special, I just mean that they operate differently. We refer to our integrations as snowflakes because they are all different. They are all set up differently. They all have different components, and no two integrations operate exactly the same. The closest are going to be the account aggregators and custodians because those are account feeds at the end of the day, but some have a single sign-on component from Redtail to Allbridge. Orion has additional features, TD Ameritrade has additional features, and a lot of the integrations are like that, where they have the account feed, but then they have additional features as well to that integration. But one very interesting one is going to be our integration with voice dictation services. So those are actually going to show on the Today page. If I go to Today, I've got my activities, any workflow tasks, and then right here, I have my mobile assistant messages and my copy talk messages. Both of those are voice dictation companies that can feed the voice dictation directly into Redtail. So the dictation is going to show here on your Today page, and then you can go ahead and create an activity or create a note from the message or view the message. You can also start a free trial of Mobile Assistant from within Redtail if you're not a user currently and interested in getting started with their services. Both of these integrations do feed notes to the Today page of Redtail, and if you turn them off, this entire box on the Today page will completely disappear. So if you don't use either of them, you can turn them off, and then your Today page will be much shorter and you won't have to scroll through it as much. So keep that in mind. Now, just like Advisory World provides free reports for all Redtail clients, and Mobile Assistant has the ability to create a free trial from within Redtail, one other integration I spotlight is Riskalyze. If you're not a current user of Riskalyze, you can send 3 clients from Redtail to Riskalyze just to try it out. That's something that they provide through Redtail as well for anyone who's interested in their product. And then some of my personal favorites, as a trainer, I work with offices a lot. I like to point out Evernote and Zapier. So those are both going to be under Manager Integrations. And Evernote is going to be under E. We get a question a lot of the time, why can't I edit my Redtail notes? Or I'd really like somewhere to put a note that I can go back in and kind of keep updated information, like what's going on in their life. It may not be high priority, like the important information. I don't necessarily want it in the user-defined fields, but I want it somewhere else and I want it to be big. And that's where Evernote can come into play. Evernote is a note-taking software. I've used them for years and never paid a dime. There's a free version of it. And it integrates within Redtail. So you can view the Evernote note within a contacts document section and keep maybe a running list of their current priorities or just some kind of notepad that's in there that's not necessarily a saved date, time, and user stamped note that Redtail takes. And then my other favorite is the very end of the alphabet. That's going to be Zapier right down here at the bottom. And the reason I mentioned Zapier earlier, and I'm spotlighting it now, is that Zapier opens the ability for Redtail to integrate with hundreds of other companies that we don't integrate with directly. So I've seen integrations through Zapier with Zoom, GoToMeeting, any kind of WebEx system, Calendly, Schedule Once, calendar platforms like that, Slack, if you use that for messaging, email programs. Personally, I use it for Google Calendar. There's a lot of applications that you can use with Zapier and Redtail. Asana, Trello, any kinds of Todoist or task management platform, you can use Zapier for to kind of communicate that platform back and forth with Redtail.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.